Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? My name is Fumidesaluvold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you are so very welcome. For those of you that are coming from TikTok as well as Instagram, welcome to the fam. So, over the weekend, I was going through, some of the information that has been released in relation to the Epstein files. 3 million files were released. Of course, I did not go through all of them, but there were a couple of highlights of which I felt that I had to address. Might I start by saying that I was so disgusted. I was so disgusted that I couldn't eat. And very seldom am I unable to eat. But I really my stomach just sank. Hi guys, how are you? I am just going through the newly released Epstein files. And when I tell you that I am sick to my stomach, I made breakfast. I haven't had eggs in a long time. One bite and I couldn't eat. I just couldn't eat. These people had power and influence, and they used it for this. I am so disgusted. Jesus. I really do think of the girls, the trauma that it must have impacted onto them. And we black girls, we were protected from the Epstein files because that was one of the things that was said, that he did not care to have black girls there. Wasn't as nicely said. He used the N-word, that he didn't want N girls there. So, darlings, you know what? Rejection is protection in this case. It goes on, which was so disturbing to me, to see the former Prince Andrew on all fours leaning over a girl. The girl to me looked comatose. The girl looked to me as if perhaps she had taken some sort of substance and he was bending over her to see if she was okay. This is a prince from the royal family, Andrew. When they were taking away all of his titles, I will be honest, I thought to myself, oh, Charles, you're being a little too harsh. No. They knew what was coming. They knew what was coming. And then we had his wife, Fergie, who asks and begs for money all over the place. She was also begging Jeffrey Epstein for money. The receipts are there. When I tell you I was so speechless, I was so speechless. And I don't think it's enough that his titles were taken away from him. He should be punished for the atrocities that went on. And I now feel that, yes, he very much was a party of. It's a disgrace. It is a what? It is a disgrace. And the British press, the nerve of you, the absolute nerve of you to go after Meghan Markle the way that you have done, till the poor child had to get up out of here. And one of your very own was doing this kind of unspeakable acts. It's a shame on all of you. It really just shows the height of racism, that I'm calling it out for what it is. Because I looked at this and I just couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe my eyes, and I know that this is not the worst. I know that there's still more, and you were still in communications with him, former Prince Andrew, after Jeffrey Epstein had been arrested. It's disgusting to so many degrees. We also have, because I have my list here so that I don't forget, because it's taken me quite a lot for me to even talk about this. Bill Gates was also on hand, and he caught an STD. Well, that's what we thought. Well, the STD could very much be AIDS, that he got AIDS, and that now makes a lot of sense why, after divorcing his wife, when they had finalized their divorce, 21, 22, I think, he came out here to give her $8 to $10 billion again because of this.
Here's a list of famous people in the files, what they allegedly did, and the citation numbers I'll put right here so you can see them for yourself. Sammy Sosa allegedly attended a party with Donald Trump and Epstein, where several women were being auctioned off. Jay-Z was allegedly present when a victim was abducted and assaulted by Harvey Weinstein in Epstein's Florida mansion. Pusha T was allegedly hired as a handler who would administer substances to his victims so Epstein and his associates could assault them. Elon Musk asked Epstein to go to the island multiple times and also asked what night the wildest party will be. And Bill Gates allegedly gave his wife an STD and asked Epstein for antibiotics and to delete the emails regarding the STD. I will make a separate video for all of the people who are in Trump's current cabinet and all of the politicians involved in this as well. So follow me for that video. It looks like Trump is stacking his administration with pedos. Let's go through every single person working for the current administration who is listed in the Epstein files that were released yesterday. I'll put citations right here so you can look them up on your own. Yesterday, Donald Trump nominated Kevin Warsh as the new chairman of the Federal Reserve. Almost immediately, people looked up his name in the files and realized that in 2010, he had gone to a Christmas party with Jeffrey Epstein on St. Bart's. Additionally, the current Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, or as people like to call him, Howard Nutlick, is mentioned several times in the files, had several meetings and calls with Epstein, and visited the island. RFK Jr., the current Secretary of Health and Human Services, is in the files and has been to the island. And there are emails in the newly released files where someone tells Epstein about RFK Jr.'s wife self-unaliving, and Epstein responds, whoops, which effectively means that right now, pedo island goers are running our commerce, they're running our healthcare, and they're about to be deciding our interests.
The DOJ has officially released all of the Epstein files, and here's what we know so far. According to an email, Bill Gates had caught an STD from one of the Russian girls and reached out to Epstein to get antibiotics that he could secretly give Melinda, which is probably one of the reasons when talking about her divorce, she said this.
Yeah, as I said, it's not one thing, it was many things. But I did not like that he'd had meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, no.
Emails show that Jeffrey Epstein wasn't just trafficking these girls, but apparently also torturing them as well, possibly to death. And you have to wonder why these names are still being redacted. Elon Musk is now in the files for the first time from emails in 2013, where him and Jeffrey Epstein were going back about Jeffrey Epstein sending him a helicopter, possibly to go visit his island, considering that Musk was in the British Virgin Islands, only 15-minute flight away. No shocker here, Hillary Clinton had invited Jeffrey Epstein to a very intimate fundraiser, but it was hosted by Howard Lutnick, our current Secretary of Commerce. And when it comes to Lutnick, it doesn't stop there. There's an email that Jeffrey Epstein had donated $50,000 in Howard's honor. Files were posted that accused President Trump via a tip line of inappropriate behavior, to say the least. Then the DOJ took those files down, but now they are back up for you to read for yourself. None of these claims against President Trump were substantiated because either no contact were made or they were considered invalid. And speaking of Trump, there's a Jeffrey Epstein email that says that he was planning to visit Mar-a-Lago in 2012 after Trump apparently banned him in 2003. There's a report that says that Prince Andrew tortured a girl that was trafficked by Ghislaine Maxwell. And when it comes to Epstein, it appears that the only thing 18 years and older are the people that want to read the files. There are over 3 million new pages, 2,000 videos, and 180,000 new images.
Well, his wife spoke, and this is what she had to say.
I have to acknowledge the elephant in the room at this moment. Your ex-husband, Bill, is named in the newest tranche of Epstein files.
Yep.
And there are a new alleged details about his past behavior. And I want to give you the opportunity to respond in whatever way you want to.
Well, let me say this. I think we're having a reckoning as a society, right? No girl should ever be put in the situation that they were put in by Epstein and whatever was going on with all of the various people around him. No girl. I mean, it's beyond heartbreaking, right? I remember being those ages those girls were. I remember my daughters being those ages, right? So for me, it's personally hard whenever those details come up, right? Because brings back memories of some very, very painful times in my marriage, but I have moved on from that. So whatever questions remain there of what I can't even begin to know all of it, those questions are for those people and for even my ex-husband. They need to answer to those things, not me. And I am so happy to be away from all the muck that was there.
I have to put more words to the muck for context for our listeners. The emails in the files suggest that Bill Gates had additional affairs and that he tried to get medication to treat a sexually transmitted infection and that he was going to give you the medicine without you knowing. His representative has said all of this is false. It is not on you to have to respond to the details of that alleged behavior, but I wonder what your dominant emotion is when you read these news articles with these details.
Sad. Just unbelievable sadness. Unbelievable sadness, right? And again, I'm able to take my own sadness and look at those young girls and say, my God, how did that happen to those girls, right? And so for me, it's just sadness for, I left my marriage. I had to leave my marriage. I wanted to leave my marriage. And so it's just sad. That's the truth, right? And it's kind of like, at least for me, I've been able to move on in life. And I hope there's some justice for those now women, right? We see them standing up in front of microphones in D.C. What they went through is just unimaginable, I think.
These are people that got money, they've got power, they've got influence, and the world can never change to be a better place when you have monsters in such positions. And you have no clue. Because for me, no clue. I would never, ever imagine that Prince Andrew would do something like this. But then again, Fumi, maybe you're naive. As you tell me in the comments, Fumi, your head is in the clouds. Maybe, because I still really, truly believe that there is some goodness in some people out here in these streets. Apparently not. Jay-Z was also mentioned in the Epstein files.
Beyonce and Jay-Z are now the most unfollowed Instagram accounts in the last 24 hours, following Jay-Z being named in the Epstein files. I mean, going from 320 and 4.4 to 308 and 1 million is actually insane. Beyonce's comment section is also not letting her breathe. They're saying your husband has been named in the Epstein files along Harvey Weinstein. Talks about your husband being in the files. You see your husband, you join him. LMAO, your husband likes good. Did you know about your husband? Use your voice. Silence is no longer neutral. Where you at, girl? Your husband's in the Jeffrey Epstein files. Nikki never lies. Now, some strings are definitely being pulled behind the scenes after the Shade Room posted and deleted this. Other major blog pages like Pop Base, Pop Crave, TMZ, The Hollywood Reporter, none of them have came forward to post about this. Regardless, it looks like those close to Jay-Z are taking this personally. The NFL themselves unfollowed Jay-Z. We know he works heavily with them. Apple Music unfollowed him. Y'all, even Rihanna herself unfollowed Jay-Z. I guess Kendrick Lamar was projecting when he said, that predator move in flocks, that name gotta be registered and placed on Neighborhood Watch. Drake already clapped back at the situation, posting this lyrics from the song Two Birds, One Stone. We know Pusha T tried to come for him, and so did Jay-Z and Kendrick. So now I'm still waiting for Nicki to show up and say her few words, because I know she's gagging behind the scenes after all of this has been exposed. But what are y'all's thoughts?
We don't know to what extent, he's involved. That's all I will say. Why? Because, as you very well know, I worked with Diddy. I took pictures with Diddy. Was I one of the Diddy party girls? No, I was not. There were a lot of mentions. I want more to come out first and find out exactly what does this mean. There was a girl who did say that Jay-Z was in the room when she was being R''d by somebody else. Let more come out, because what I do realize with this Jeffrey Epstein saga is that he took a lot of pictures. Are you so stupid? Did you not think Did you not think that this would come out, that all of these pictures would not be documented? The past has really come to what? The past has really come to haunt all of you. It's just a disgrace. It is a disgrace and it is a shame. May her soul rest in peace. But if the Queen knew about this, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. And he should be carried right through to the fullest extent of the law. And you are out here harassing Meghan Markle. If Meghan Markle had done this, oh my God, please. Former Prince Andrew on all fours. What a shame. That's all I can say. What a shame. I am sick to my stomach. You're going around picking up Russian girls. But you had the conversation, the email correspondence is there with you and Jeffrey, that he has a Russian girl for you. You want to know, yes, what does she know? Does she have my email? How much more did you how much did you tell about her, about me? Can I know more about her? Co-signing these young, and to be using these young girls. I feel so sorry for them because they come from families, they come from situations, circumstances that we cannot imagine. And you are here, instead of you to mentor them, instead of you to give them hope, give them opportunities, let them go to schools, let them find jobs, let them find themselves. You abuse them. You use them. And they get diseases and all kinds. It's murder to me. You killed these girls. You killed them. And I'm so proud of the ones that are speaking up. The atrocities. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And you really all should go to jail. You should all go to jail and serve hard time. Do not forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, and I will see you sooner than later. All of my love, my darlings. All of my love. If you see somebody doing something wrong, speak up. If you see people doing something wrong, or you suspect something is going on in that house, do something.